cafe. Anyway,
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Hey, everybody, it's episode 2153, 2153, and the show's called Mike's Daily Podcast. We are singing because it's a great day, and you and me are not here in the same place, although it's clear if you were near to me, you would have to wear a mask. That's how way it is, and who knows how long this will last. When will it end? Soon. That's what everyone seems to be. Mike's Daily Podcast. Hoping. Hey, I think everybody should talk with the very stern O Mike's that all the young Daily women are using. Instead of, I'm going to go, the way I say that, go. They say go, like they're Canadian, no. Canadian people talk like that now, no, don't you know? So that's being used a lot. I've noticed this. I don't know if it's a thing. It's true. It could be completely true. It could be completely false. It could be like me telling a story that's untrue, like false, like fake, like fraud. Now I can work for Trump's team. Just say the word fraud and false a lot. It's what it works for him. It gets all of his supporters saying, yeah, everything is fraud and false and not true and they're all lies. So remember the F word, fake or fraud. Fake news, fraud votes, fraudulent. And now we're all on the same page. But I did knock an engine off my block, which explains a lot about me. Knocked my engine off the block when I was in high school. That was the story I told last time when I was trying to carpool and driving a bit fast and I was a teenager. But not to be knocked all of our blocks, our brains. What am I trying to say here? Oh.
And here's today's podcast picture.
I guess that's an expression when someone punches you and knocked your block off. Is that it? I don't care. The podcast picture today is up in Berkeley, a place that probably does not agree so much with what Trump is saying these days. But yes, it's up there in the beautiful hills of Berkeley. And it's actually Seaview Trail is what it is called, near the Lower Big Springs Trail. And you're kind of up near Tilden. You're almost in Orinda. Basil didn't go with us. He was there in spirit. Yes, he would have liked that walk. He was there. Yes, Basil. And you would have been going super fast up the hill as I was going slow and sweating my eyeballs out. Sweating my block off. Okay, I think we'll stop with that expression. At any rate, you can see that picture at MikesDailyPodcast.com for all of you in places where wearing a mask is like a joke. Well, I don't know where you live because the whole U.S. now, the numbers have shot up. And so much for all the reopening we were doing all over the place. I guess we weren't that good and the disease got better than us. So we got to watch it. But hopefully there's a vaccine coming. So just because you know there's a vaccine coming, do not start not wearing your mask. It's important that we all wear it around each other and that sort of thing. All right. I was talking also about, I was remembering a lot of things from my past. One of the radio stations I worked at, there was a guy. So I worked in the evenings at a country station. And there was a show called the Santa Fe Cafe where a lot of the characters, the Cafe Anyway characters came from. And every night I'd be there on the country station in the 90s here. And then down the hall, there was a guy working on a news station named Jim Dooley. Jim Dooley was one odd guy. And in fact, there is a famous talk show radio guy whose name escapes me at the moment, but I've actually heard him talk about Jim Dooley. He is such a memorable fella. I don't know if Jim is still alive, but that guy was interesting. He was translating. Oh, he was studying Russian. That's right. While he was also doing the news reports. at the beginning of the hour and then at the half-hour mark of the hour. He would do that on this news station in Ventura County. And I was just thinking about him. Boy, it's funny how long you may spend working with someone. Might be longer than some of your friendships that you have. You've just worked with this person for so long you didn't realize that the years went by. And a huge chunk of your life was spent with this person that was down the hall. Jim Dooley. And then there was a cleaning lady named Bonnie. Bonnie the cleaning lady. She passed away. But I remember seeing her every day as I worked at this country station. And I was going by the name Matt back then. She'd be like, "How are you doing, Matt?" And she had an interesting son who helped her. Now, Bonnie was quite old, so her son was probably in his 50s. Practically all of his teeth were missing. And Bonnie's teeth were missing too, I think. So it made for an interesting... They were the cleaning crew. They were nice as can be. The company I worked for said, no, they cost too much, so they fired them. They fired their service and hired somebody that was working in like the administration part of this radio station. She was like a jack of all trades, and she said, "I'll do the cleaning," which she did for about half the time and then gave up. But then we had no cleaning crew. My point is, Bonnie, the cleaning lady, was so nice, very nice, and she loved country music. And whenever we had like a lot of country stars would come by, or up and coming country stars, and she would freak out. She'd be like, "Who's that, Matt? Who's that, Matt? I don't recognize that person." People. As we go outside a cafe anyway, we're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast. Someone podcast drove Alleyton today. The last place on earth. It's Saturday. The sun goes down so early these days. It's about 6:14. I know in about half an hour, I'm going to get a bunch of calls from a young man that I'm trying to train in the world of radio. I've trained him. I've already trained him, but I know I'm going to get a phone call. Because there has not been one person that I have trained in radio that has not brought with them a notebook, except for Ken, who's been on the show. Props to Ken, who has not brought up a notebook and written everything down that I say. You will write down every single word that I say. No, nothing like that. They all try and memorize it, and that just don't work. It do not work. You got to put it in your phone, the key parts anyway. Cafe anyway. That's all I'm saying. It's amazing. And I notice that with a lot of young people, that they have this, I'll just remember it. And do they? No, they end up calling me. So I should probably not answer my phone and then see if he remembers it. Ooh, that's cruel. But that, my friend, is called being thrown in the fire. Can you do it? Can you actually, with your feet to the fire, feet to the flame, can you dance? Is that the expression? Or can you, when the fire's on, stand on the block and not knock the block off? Blocks. How's it going in your block today? Are you going to have a fun weekend at your block? Oh, by the way, sad news here about if you use Google Photos, which I do, which basically, if it wasn't for Google Photos, I would have a much more difficult time bringing you the podcast picture every week. But they are going to be taking their service away or changing it dramatically. If you have Google Photos beginning in June of next year, they are basically going to say, because right now they have this unlimited photo storage capability. And they do it sort of the way that you listen to MP3s. MP3s take up a lot less space than a WAV file, or what's the file that all the Apple products save to? Whatever that file is, the AC something, or anywho. What happens is you save a lot of stuff as MP3, and your ear really doesn't notice the quality difference between an MP3 and a WAV, unless you have an ear like a hearing like a bat. So with the whole Google Photos thing is they save enough information of the photo that when you see it, you're like, oh, that's a beautiful photo. That's the photo. But you're actually not getting all the data that's in that picture. You're getting a stripped down pixel, less pixels per square inch type thing than you would if you actually just looked at the data that's in the picture that you take that's on your phone. Did I get a little too technical? In other words, they're taking that away from us, so that sucks. Is someone going to replace them? I don't know. Cafe, I don't know, but that's not until June next year. Heads up with that. Hey, we're outside a cafe anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley. 10, the last place on earth. Who's here?
Hello, Michael Marsh. It's Madame Rootabega. This has been a very interesting discussion.
Oh, thank you. Do you know what the expression was I was trying to say?
Yes, you're trying to say he's off his rocker.
Rocker? No? I think it was something to do with the... Look who else is here.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant.
And it's a Bison Bentley.
Madam, do you like Valentino?
Yes.
Do you like Bison Bentley?
Yes.
Do you...
No.
Okay. Next show, it'll be the wonderful Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, and John Deere the engineer. What do you think about all of these things? What's your favorite expression? 336MM daily. 3 plus 3 equals 6. MM is in Mike Matthews. Daily is in what this podcast tries to be and has been now for 2 days so far. We had to take a little break. We got interrupted. Don't forget, tomorrow morning or Sunday morning, whenever you're listening to this, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., you can hear me at kkdv.com. Details about that at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Take it away, a friend.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Email Mike now at MikesDailyPodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!